Awesome. Welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. Well, we're going to kick off from where we were last week. The goal is for me to just learn more about, the problem, the reason that you came in. My hope is to just get some more information about it, also explore some of your strengths, and talk a little bit more, I guess it is about how you think maybe culture, family culture, things like that intersects with that. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Anything that you want to discuss during this time?
Not that I can think of off the top of
Okay.
my head. I'll just let you lead.
Sounds good. Okay, so from those three things that I listed, is there a particular area that you want to start with?
Maybe where culture intersects kind of with my
Yeah,
issue.
that sounds good. So last time, you talked a lot about the pressure that you were feeling, kind of complacency, all of those things, concerns about it. But a big thing that stuck out to me was just kind of your parents' motto and how that impacts you today. Is there anything I'm forgetting about what we discussed last time that'd be important?
No, I'd say that lines up well.
Okay. I'm curious, so tell me more about how do you think that culture impacts your parents' motto? Even thinking about maybe the time that they grew up in, or even Black culture, how do you think that impacts their motto?
I would say for them, that model simply stems from just their own experiences growing up and such like that. Because I know for them is they both actually ended up going to school early on in their young adult life, but then they ended up dropping out for their own reasons and such like that, and didn't end up going back to school. My pops, he graduated back in '09, and then my mom, she graduated back in, I want to say 2017, 2018.
Okay. And when you say go to school, does that mean high school, undergrad, grad school?
Undergrad, yeah. And I guess with them is I know, especially my pops, is he just kind of thinks back and he's just like, man, I was just young and dumb,
Mm-hmm.
didn't really understand the importance of school and whatnot. And one of his big regrets is not just sticking out school when he did it then, instead of not having to do it when has three kids, just a whole family and such like that. So the difficulty just increased for him. So
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. What would you say? Last time you talked about handle your business, that was like a phrase that was used commonly. What does that look like to you right now?
hmm. For me, handling business, I look at it almost in like different groups, if you will. And I'm gonna see you can almost break it up in like three, where it's like business like internally, just like myself and my own well-being and state, and then work and finances and such like that. And then I think of almost like a third category of being like my interpersonal relationships. So my girlfriend, friends, parents, etc. and whatnot.
Yeah. What is it? Give me an example of what it looks like to handle your business in the work and finance area.
For me, for one, of course, it's going to work and doing my job well and such like that, because that's something that I do have a lot of pride in and do try and take serious. So making sure that I'm just doing the right thing and doing my best at that. And in the financial realm is making sure that it's just like, okay, well, that my spending habits, that they, like trying to improve on those kind of aspects and trying to save, because of course, for later on in life, there are things that I do hope to want to do and such like that. So that would kind of be, I think that's kind of a very loose example, but
No, that's great.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great. How would you say that your parents or family defined handling business growing up?
For like raising me growing up, or their version growing up when they were young?
Mm. I would say raising you. I want to know how it impacts you.
For me, okay, well, growing up, handling business was doing chores or school, and I did one of those well, which is of course isn't my chores. When it came to school, that was an aspect, right? Definitely, that's where you can either play now and work now and play later, or play now and work.
Okay.
And I think that is actually where that truly did stem from, because of course when I came to school, it's like didn't really take it serious, but of course like the sports realm is I was really big on. I
Yeah.
wanted to get better at football, get better at track and other sports and such, but when I came to school I didn't put in as much effort growing up, so that would be my poor example of how I was not handling business in that aspect.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great example. Thank you. Speaking of now, um, tell me more about what rest looks like for you.
Mm. I would say that for me, I almost struggle with how rest looks for myself, only because it's something that I feel like I don't give much time towards.
Mm.
Just because I constantly kind of feel like I want to continue to do things and whatnot, and either the want to do things or just the cycle that I'm kind of in. It's just this going on, I go to work, just other just life events where it's almost like my rest is going to sleep, and even still, it's just like when I wake up, it's not sleeping in. It's okay. I woke up. Okay, what do I have to do? X, Y, and Z, and that kind of thing. So rest. That's one that I'm still trying to figure out right
Yeah.
now.
Well, I'm excited to explore that more with you. Is there anything else I should know about in this area before I move on to more strengths?
No, I think that was covered.
Okay. When it comes to strengths, so you mentioned being really proud of your friend group, the previous time that we had met. I want to know more about how they impact your life and what that looks like.
Cool. I would say for my friends, they impact me in, I'd say, magnitude ways, but like the biggest ones that I can think of is the conversations and dialogues that we're able to have, because we all come from just different backgrounds and such like that. And so, well, I may see it from this way, is they're looking at it from that way. And so whenever we can talk and whatnot, is it really does like just open up your mind and allows you to kind of see from another person's perspective. And that's what I can really appreciate from them. And just along with just being just stand-up people that I know I can depend on just as much as they can depend on me, where it's like, I never really feel like I don't have anybody, because it's like these people are like the pillars that I know that I can really rely on, really going through.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Who are some of your people?
Zoe, Jack, Scott, Jamin, and Sai. That is the five amigos right there.
Tell me about them. Like, how did you meet them? Yeah.
I would say Scott I've known the longest, and that was back when I was younger. We did Boy Scouts together. That's how I met him, and then him and I just kind of remained friends ever since. Zoe, he's my closest friend, and I met him back in middle school. We invited him to one day to go play laser tag or something like that, and we had just been friends ever since, because we lived close, so we'd always just come over, hang out, video games, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Saad I knew from baseball, and Jack I met in high school, and Jamin, I've known him also since like early school days. So
Okay.
they're all like school friends that I've just kind of met and whatnot, so we just kind of all stay together.
Are these all high school friends, or did you go to college? Are they college
Yeah.
friends?
Oh, these ones are high school friends.
Okay.
I do have college buddies and whatnots, but it's like our relationship a little more, maybe just because of distance. They're Wisconsin, Chicago's, and all over the place.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible to maintain close relationships with high school friends, especially for our generation. That's really great. Awesome. So back to, some of the pressure that you were feeling. Tell me how you cope with that right now. What are some activities that you do to cope with that?
I guess it's almost like it's weird almost listed as an activity, but it's hanging out with my girlfriend. That's also a nice way I can cope. It's just kind of talking with her and her ability to keep me grounded. it definitely comes in very helpful and handy.
Yeah.
I don't see like actual activities. Going to the gym, that's always nice. Or sometimes my friends and we'll get together and we'll just throw the ball around and we'll put together like a little makeshift full football game and we'll just do that for a little bit and yeah, those kind of things just kind of help me just get away. Camping, hiking, just being outdoors. It's just just being able to just kind of put the phone on, disconnect for a while, and just be around just people that I enjoy being around and whatnot. It's a good way to kind of just like almost just take me away for a little bit.
That's great. Tell me more about your girlfriend. How long have you guys been together?
We've been together. We started dating back in July, and we just hit our 4-month anniversary on the 19th.
Awesome. Congrats. How did you guys meet?
We met on Hinge.
Awesome. Okay. Lastly, I want to just get some more information about, why you're here and what you want to explore. Tell me about, some of the, let's say, maybe negative impacts of the pressure that you're feeling or the fear, complacency. Yeah.
I would say, is that it can almost cause, it's weird to almost even call it anxiety because it almost be like an undiagnosed example, just like, well, and we'll call it more just stress of it, of being like, you should be doing more. Why aren't you doing more? And then it's just like, well, what is more? Like, what does that look like? So, I would say just that feeling that it's just like, okay, I know I should be doing more, but just how, what does that look like? That kind of thing. And so that can almost lead into like a little bit of almost just like feeling antsy or restless in that kind of aspect.
Yeah. So you said feeling antsy or restless. Are there any other ways that you are experiencing that stress?
Not that I can really think of. For me, it really is almost just like an internal, so more of like just a mental challenge that I see. Maybe it doesn't truly reflect so much so from one just like I don't know, just from like just everything else is just more so just mentally. So I guess it's a pro and con, but yeah, that's how I would say.
Yeah. So it kind of lives up here in your body, you would say. Okay. Is there anything that you feel is important for me to know about this? Obviously, we'll come back to it. But right now, is there anything that feels important for me to know, to understand? Sounds good. Okay, just want to make sure there's nothing else on our assessment to go over. Awesome. I think that's all I have on my end. I want to kind of briefly summarize. So it sounds like, we talked a lot about how it impacts your body, right? You're mainly mental, but some other feelings of antsiness and restlessness. Got to learn more about your community of people, which is really awesome. Your friends, your girlfriend, and some of the things that you're doing to kind of cope with what you're dealing with right now. It was great to learn more about, how it showed up in the past with your parents, and learn more about the background of where it comes from. So next time we'll just keep exploring this. Anything else that you want to talk about before we end today?
No, I think that's good.
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
Sweet.
We're done.
Awesome.